peak in life's days of extreme tension. In the heart of Chinese power, a political earthquake shake the foundations of Xi Jinping government. The most serious corruption scandal of its entire mandate, and the timing couldn't be worse. The trade war with the United States intensifies. Global supply chains are reconfiguring to reduce dependence on China, and international confidence in the country gives signs of aging, which started as a routine operation against all military equipment, quickly turned into a national scandal. Internal sources from the Ministry of Defense confirmed that a mega anti-operation led to the arrest of several generals and senior officials directly connected to Xi's inner circle. Unlike other campaigns of the past, this doesn't seem like just another one power. To eliminate rivals, what is at stake now? It is the political and military stability itself of the second greatest power on the planet, a scheme that mixes power, luxury and betrayal, according to documents obtained by South China Morning Post, and leaked information of Taiwanese intelligence agencies. The intelligence network was complex and sophisticated. The method: create fake defense contracts through shell companies, research institutes, non-existent and carefully hidden offshore accounts. Or objective: divert resources from the military budget for private bags. The impressive amount, over $9 billion, diverted to, over 4 years, money officially intended, strengthening Chinese war capability. That in practice was used to buy mansions in Malaysia, luxury apartments in Dubai, private jets, yachts and millionaire gifts for elite families in Beijing and Shanghai. Among the most important names involved is Zhang Yaorui, one of Xi's closest allies. Just 2 years ago, Zhang accompanied the president on inspections to the military districts of the south, landing as a trusted man. Today, according to Nikkei Asia, he is pointed out as a link straight between the high echelons and clandestine networks, who manipulated contracts and embezzled funds. The wound in the myth of total discipline. For years, Xi Jinping built his image as an inflexible leader that would purge the doctrine of the Chinese Communist Party. The engineers of the corporation warned that the financial is so great that some divisions of the People's Liberation Army are in fact no resources to maintain basic operations. And the problem goes beyond finance. Many of the accused invested in critical sectors: how to manufacture military drones, air defense systems and surveillance satellites, i.e., vital areas of national security, were exploited for personal enrichment. Your rise to power was marked by spectacular operations against political opponents on the doctrine of moral cleansing. But now the plot reverses. It's your trust core, which is at the heart of a billionaire scheme. The engineers of the corporation warned that the financial is so great that some divisions of the People's Liberation Army are in fact no resources to maintain basic operations. And the problem goes beyond finance. Many of the accused invested in critical sectors: how to manufacture military drones, air defense systems and surveillance satellites, i.e., vital areas of national security, were exploited for personal enrichment. The situation casts doubt on the real condition of the Chinese armed forces, projects that, on paper, should place China at the military forefront. Maybe nothing more than prototypes, or systems with unknown performance. Even for your own fellows. The internal crisis and the midst of the external, the moment could not be more mysterious. The trade conflict initiated under the Trump administration evolved into a strategic dispute involving technology, supply chains, and geopolitical influence. Washington imposes increasingly severe restrictions. The export of advanced chips, an essential equipment for Chinese industry, as global companies transfer factories to countries like Vietnam, India, and Mexico. At such a juncture, what would be expected would be for China to demonstrate internal unit and strength to face external pressure. However, what you see is the opposite. A country shaken by internal disputes, capital flight, drop in foreign investment, and a growing distrust of the value of the yuan. Close sources claim that, for the first time in years, there are murmurs about possible betrayal within the dome. Some regional leaders watch the chaos without getting involved, while others, Second German Intelligence BND, already search communication channels with Western governments as a way to preserve their positions. If there is one drastic change in power, in the numbers, officers, China still holds imposing titles. With a GDP of almost $1 trillion, largest military force in number of troops, growing nuclear arsenal, space program that launches satellites every 2 weeks, and industrial capacity that rivals or surpasses the West in various sectors. But international reports and analyses of the Diplomat magazine reveal one less glamorous picture. Deep water at all levels. Political loyalty above technical competence. Fear stifling the initiative. And projects strategic that don't work as advertised. Even hypersonic warhead tests, proudly announced by official propaganda, have already been unmasked as counterfeit. The crisis also begins to erode the most ambitious Project E by Chinese diplomacy, a Belt and Road Initiative BRI, which sought to consolidate Beijing's influence through mega infrastructure projects in Asia, Africa, and Europe, with internal instability and financial tightening. Several works are stopped, funding decreases, and the loan repayment rate granted to other countries plummets to Beijing. This represents not only one economic setback, but also one strategic blow. The battle for political survival. In the corridors of power, the climate is one of absolute nervousness. Sources close to the State Security Committee reveal that discussions are ongoing on radical changes in the military high command, strengthening censorship, greater control over strategic state-owned companies, especially in the aviation sectors, cybersecurity and satellite communications, and even temporary restrictions. The international interactions of certain employees, these do not are routine measures. It is a regime survival plan. Xi himself, although still in charge, no longer enjoys the absolute authority he had for the first time since he came to power. Faces one dangerous combination of external pressure and fragmentation internal. The scandal at the Defense Ministry might just be the trigger for something much bigger. The exposure that, behind the curtain of stability and power, China may be more vulnerable than the world imagines. What was once sold as an impenetrable wall now reveals deep fissures. And in politics, external enemies always know how to explore internal cracks. With the United States tightening, Europe moving away, India consolidating regional blocs, and the BRICS showing signs of division, time plays against China. What will happen next is uncertain. But one thing is already clearer: the Chinese leader's political future never been so threatened. If you like this video, follow the channel, share with those who need to know, and leave your like. It helps us bring more stories like this.